Hi students, this is Mrs. Fritz, one of the school counselors here. Today's Warrior Way lesson, we've got lots of things to accomplish and lots of things to double check or have a refresher on or review or to learn about. So make sure that you're following along with every step that I go through on this video. You will need your Chromebooks, so please get your Chromebooks out. We are going to start with email signatures. Email signatures is that standard line that you can put at the end of your emails so that it always lists your name and maybe some other information. So for example, here is my email signature. It says Shannon Fritz, Director of Guidance, Whiteland Community High School. Every time I send an email, this is what is at the end of it, so I don't have to type my name multiple times. We need you to check this. Many of you have a signature, but it still says that you're a 7th grader or an 8th grader or a year in school that you no longer are. So the way to do that is go into your school email. You'll go to the gear at the top, which is settings, and then you'll need to see all settings. And then you have to scroll quite a ways down. The signature is near the bottom of that. If you already have a signature, you can just edit it here. Like I could go in and change it to Mrs. Fritz, for example, instead of Shannon Fritz. You don't have to have a signature. We would encourage you that you do that. This is where you could change your grade level. Just make sure the signature that you have is accurate. If you just want to put Whiteland Community High School student or WCHS student, that's fine because we won't have to change that every year. But many of you, it's confusing. Many of you we get emails from and it lists you as a 7th or 8th grader, and it just takes us a moment to double check to make sure you actually a high school student and emailing the right person. Teachers, as we go through this video, feel free to pause it as you need so students can stay up to date with what I'm doing. All right, once our email signatures have been adjusted, now we want you to go to StudentVue. We want to make sure that every student can log into StudentVue. Students, please alert your teachers if you're unable to log into StudentVue. Students can pick their own password for StudentVue. I would encourage them to try their network password. Most likely it's their student ID number and their network password. So students, try that. If it doesn't work, students, you can do the recover my password, because that would mean at some point you've probably changed the StudentVue password. Teachers, in the Warrior Way calendar, there is a Google link just for you as the teacher. I only want teachers to fill this out. But after you walk your classroom, if there are students that no matter what you do, we can't get them in, please fill out that Google form. It's just entitled like StudentVue issues and just asks for the student ID number so that counselors and tech staff can work through to help students be able to access StudentVue. A common issue that we have besides passwords, like a student, maybe you changed it and forgot what it was. Another common issue is students sometimes will Google Synergy or StudentVue, and then your information doesn't work because you're trying to log into a different school. So if you're having trouble, look up kind of in the corners of the screen and make sure that it references Clark Pleasant Community Schools or Whiteland Community High School. That's a very common problem that we have. If that's you, I would encourage you to go to our district's website and you can get to Synergy that way and bookmark our Synergy site so that your login and password works specifically for us in this school corporation. Okay, hopefully everyone's able to log into StudentVue. What I want you to look at is the menu along the left-hand side. We're going to go through several of these tabs. I want you to follow along with me. I want you to select on the menu option as I briefly talk about it. So the first item I want you to look at, the red arrow there, is attendance. So if you click on attendance, this is where you can see when you've been marked absent. When you've been marked tardy, whether it's full day or just for a period. This would be a good thing to get in and check once a week, just to make sure that it is accurate and that you are aware of what your attendance rate is. We know the more often you're here and the more often you're in class, the better your grades are going to be. There's a direct link between those two. Next menu item underneath attendance is class schedule. Go ahead and look at class schedule, and I want you to know this class schedule is linked to our blue and orange day and linked to the bell schedule. So if you forget over the weekend or over a vacation, when we come back on Monday, what day is it, blue or orange, you can check your class schedule and it will show you what classes you go that day and even show you the bell schedule, because you'll notice next to the classes, it'll give the times. So that class schedule is linked to what we would call the school calendar and the bell schedule. All right, underneath class schedule, right below that is course history. Let's take a moment and talk about course history. The first thing that you'll see in course history is that this is linked to a diploma type. We are going to talk more about diplomas later, but just notice right now that it's linked to one particular diploma type. And then what you'll see is what I would describe as bar graphs. What that is your graduation check or your graduation status. It is taking the grades you've earned on your transcript and comparing it to the requirements to that diploma type. And it shows you in bar graphs whether you have it all the way done, whether it's halfway done. For example, English 9, everyone needs 2 credits in English 9. So if you have both your credits, it'll say 100% and all be green. Maybe you only have one of those credits from last year, so the bar is just halfway. And brand new freshmen who are just in English 9 right now, all of those things are going to be gray because you're just in those classes and we haven't finished a semester yet. That's your graduation check. Next to the graduation check, notice where your GPAs are, weighted and unweighted. You can find your weighted GPA or your unweighted GPA here in course history. GPAs are only updated at the end of every semester, so this number won't change until January, and then it'll change again at the end of second semester in June, and then it'll change again at the end of summer school in the summer of 2023. I want you to scroll down farther. So underneath what I would call your bar graphs or that graduation check, you'll see at the very bottom where it says course history, and then there's a button that says detail on or off. Change that so it says detail on. That is your actual transcript. So sometimes we get a lot of questions from students who will say, my graduation check is showing that I'm missing like an English 9 credit, but I know I took it. Maybe that's because we have you linked with an honors diploma. The honors diplomas say that you can't earn any grade lower than a C- for the semester in that course. So in my example, if a student had earned a D+ for English 9 and their graduation check was set to be an academic honors diploma, it's going to show that that credit's missing because you haven't met that requirement for that diploma. But if you want to see everything that you've taken and what your grades are, that's what course history at the very bottom of that screen will show you. When you say details on, you can see what is your transcript, not applied to any diploma, but just straight up your transcript. All right, next under course history is gradebook. This is where you can check your grades. Then I'm going to skip several. Go to student information. This is actually where you can find your lunch balance, bus information, and counselor, in case you need to ever check those things. And then this won't appear on the screen, but at the very bottom of that menu, it says documents. If you go ahead and click on that, documents is where every semester we'll actually run a PDF of your transcript and we'll drop it right there in your documents tab. That may help you, especially as you get your driver's license. Many of you can qualify for a good student discount on insurance. If you provide your transcript, you actually have access to that. It's in your StudentVue under documents, and you'll notice that there's a transcript loaded on August 3rd that would be reflective up into through summer school. Current ninth graders, unless you took high school credits at the middle school, you're not going to have a transcript yet, just because we don't issue credits until the semester ends. So since you're just starting high school, you don't have your transcript created just yet. Next, graduation requirements. I want to take this opportunity at the start of the school year as we're starting a fresh year and you have the opportunity to do your absolute best in all of your classes. Let's review, what does it take to graduate high school? To graduate, you have to do 3 different tasks. We might call these buckets or boxes. 1 is earn your credits for a diploma. Box 2 is demonstrate employability skills. And box 3, certify you are ready for life after high school. I'm going to take time now and go through more information with each one of these boxes. Box 1 is earn credits towards a diploma. We have different kind of types or levels of diplomas: academic honors, technical honors, and core 40. The easiest way I have to describe this is to say core 40 is like cake. It's what we want everybody to get while they're in high school. We want them to have a piece of cake. If you get honors on top of that, that's like having icing and sprinkles and whipped cream and all the other stuff that's on top of it. But core 40 is really what we would like everybody to graduate with. That's the cake. If we can stretch you and have you do extra requirements and do really well and achieve really well in those classes, that's the extra step on top, which is fantastic, but cake is good. So we're going to start with the cake part, core 40. What does it take for me to graduate high school? With a core 40 diploma, you have to get 46 total credits. You're going to do 4 years of English, 3 years of math. That means you'll go algebra, geometry, and algebra 2. You have to do a math or quantitative reasoning class in 12th grade, 3 years of science and social studies, 2 semesters of PE, and a semester each of health and PCC, which is preparing for college and careers. Academic honors diploma requires 47 credits. It requires that you do all the core 40 requirements, so all the things I just mentioned, and then you also have to do a 4th year math beyond algebra 2. These are things like pre-calculus or AP stats or finite math. You have to do world languages. The rule is that you do 3 years of one world language, or you can do 2 years of 2 different ones. So for example, you could do 3 years of Spanish, or you could do 2 years of Spanish and 2 years of Punjabi. Academic honors diploma also requires that you do 2 semesters of fine arts and that you complete 2 AP or dual credit classes during high school. No semester grades below a C-. So that means when we look at your transcript records all your semester grades. The end of each semester, nothing below a C-. And by the time you graduate, overall, your GPA needs to be a 3.0 or higher. Technical honors diploma, 47 credits again, all those same core 40 requirements. But instead of world language and fine arts, technical honors requires that you do 6 credits in a career technical sequence, or we sometimes call those CTE classes. They stand for Career Technical Education. So 6 credits in CTE classes. Examples would be classes in business or agriculture, engineering, radio TV, family consumer science, computer programming, classes that are at Central 9. All of those are examples of career technical education or career technical sequence. To earn the technical honors diploma, you have to do 6 credits in that career technical path, and then you also have to earn college credits or what's called an industry credential in those classes. You also have to do 2 AP or dual credit classes by the time you graduate, and no semester grades below a C-, overall GPA at a 3.0 or higher. So the grade requirement GPA and the AP dual credit is very similar to academic honors diploma. We're just swapping out world language, fine arts, and math for career-specific classes. That's all box one. You pick a diploma type and you work towards those classes and those credits. The second box for graduation is employability skills. We are going to have everyone in their Warrior Way class this year, the very first 10 weeks is going to be a service project. That's going to fall under our Be Respectful part of Warrior Way. But by participating in that 10-week service project in your Warrior Way class, this will now enable you to meet your Box 2 graduation requirement. This box will be done for everyone by the end of this semester, as long as you participate in that community service project that your Warrior Way class will do. That's actually what we're going to start working on next week when we're in Warrior Way. Lastly, box 3 is post-secondary competencies. You have to complete one of these requirements for graduation. So to review again, box 1 is your credits and diploma types. Box 2 is going to be that service project in Warrior Way. Box 3, sometime in your 4 years of high school, you have to complete one of these activities. Post-secondary competencies, it's like we need you to decide, what direction am I going to go after high school? And then not only decide that direction, but take a step towards that in your planning. So not just planning only in your head, but actually move forward with that. Your choices are earning an honors diploma. If you earn an honors diploma, this will meet not only your credits for box 1, but box 3 as well. You can complete 3 AP or dual credit classes with a C- or better. That's more than what's required of you for academic and technical honors. Those things require just 2. But if you want to count this for box 3, then you're going to have to do 3 classes. And you also have to do them with a C- or better. Score high enough on the ACT, the SAT, or ASVAB. Earn a state industry's credential or certification. And complete a CTE pathway with a C- or better average. You have to complete one of those things before you graduate high school. Let me go to the testing part, the ACT, the SAT, and the ASVAB. Every student in March of their junior year of high school will take the SAT. You will take it during the school day. The state of Indiana pays for it. It's done online. If you score high enough on that test, we can use it as part of your graduation, but everyone has to take that, every junior. That includes people who are planning on graduating in 3 years. If you're planning on graduating in 3 years, it's your 3rd year of high school. You may be considered a senior, but it's your 3rd year of high school, and you will have to participate in the SAT in March of this year. The ASVAB is a test for military entrance. We will give that here at school at no charge. We usually do it once a semester, and students that are interested in the military or interested in using the ASVAB as a way to meet this graduation requirement will take that test here at school. The ACT is a college admission test that you can on your own sign up and take. We don't currently give that here at the high school, but local high schools do give it on Saturdays. Earning a state industry credential or certification currently is only occurring at C9. So if you want to attend C9 during junior and senior year, that may also be a way that helps you towards your graduation by earning a credential as being part of their 2-year classes. Then complete a CTE pathway or with a C- or better average. There are 2 or 3 course sequences that you can take to count for this area. Your counselors have a very big chart of what you have to take in what order. So your upperclassmen might remember me or another counselor coming into your classes last year and saying, okay, you're in Principles of Business Management. As we get ready to schedule, here's the next class that you'll want to take. So we do try to help you guide what class do I take first, second, and third so that we can help you meet this CTE pathway. That also may explain some of you maybe have reaching out to your counselors and saying, I'd really like to drop this course. And your counselor may be coming back and saying, I can't, that's your pathway course. This is what they're referencing. Your counselors are checking where you stand for this box 3 graduation. And there may be times that you ask to drop a class that we say no, because this is how it's counting and it's a requirement. We need you to stay in it and do well. All right, as I wrap up, there's a couple things I want to say to everyone. We get lots of questions about graduating early, which is a great goal to have. If you are a younger student, if you want to graduate in 3 years, you have to pursue and earn an honors diploma, either academic or technical honors diploma. You'll have to plan that out in order to graduate a full year early. If you want to graduate a semester early, we do not have that requirement. You are allowed to graduate with a Core 40 and graduate a semester early. The other thing I want to mention, you see a bit.ly link here. When we were looking at StudentVue and your graduation status, that bar graph, and I said it's linked to a particular diploma type and it's checking your transcript against that diploma. If you would like us to change what diploma we have you listed in Synergy, we can absolutely do that. The student this time will complete this bit.ly. It'll just ask a few couple questions and then we can go in and change those diploma types for you. Freshmen, I don't want you to fill this form out. Freshmen, we have everyone listed as academic honors if you're in a world language currently. If you're not, you're in a principles or a career class, and so we have you listed as technical honors diploma. So in freshmen, until you start earning grades and we have a GPA, we're keeping everyone listed as honors for now. Grades 10 through 12, though, if you would like to change that diploma type so that it reflects what your goal is and it's checking your status for that diploma, we're happy to change that for you. You'll just do the bit.ly link there and fill out the Google form. Just notice that all of those are letter O's and not the number 0. So there's a lowercase o and an uppercase O as well, not zeros. Thank you, warriors. Have a wonderful day.